Every man has his own Roman empire. Mine includes a lot of lube, a ceiling fan, and 3 bathroom tiles. What follows becomes very illegal very fast. So the closest I can do is replicate the Roman Empire in Kenshi. For those of you that are uninvolved in robot racism and bug politics, Kenshi is a simulation of how the world would look if everything was Russian. Murder, kidnapping, slavery, racism, a lot of racism, all included in the fever dream that is Kenshi. It's like a sandbox for the mentally challenged, so therefore I am rebuilding the Roman Empire in Kenshi. Now, what do I mean by rebuilding it, as Kenshi does have its limitations? Well, first off, we're gonna build a large, rich, and powerful empire. Of course, we're also gonna use a lot of slaves. I think it's only fit that our choice of emperor will be Nero the Kind and Compassionate. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Now, if you don't know the drill, we start with nothing. No skills, no money, and no bitches. Well, we do have the face only a mother could love, so we'll probably never get the bitches. To start building the foundations of the Roman Empire, I first have to get funding. Now, since I can't just make a shitty brand and put it on Shark Tank so that gullible people buy it, I will start by exploiting the workers' class. What I mean by this is that after stealing some shit and selling it, I will buy mercenaries. Then I'll make the mercenaries fight against criminals with bounties. I will then deliver the bounties and receive a fat paycheck. And if the mercenaries die fighting, I'll just steal their shit and pawn it off. So no matter what happens, I'll get rich. First, we're going after the Dust King. The Dust King is a sad old fart that lives in a big Rapunzel-like tower, waiting for the next gay man to join him and his goons in doing fuck all. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this guy. So let's go brutally slaughter him and his friends. Since I am putting everything on catching this fucker, I went balling and bought 2 whole squads of mercenaries to join me on my expedition. Now, if this fails and I get badly beat up in the process, I might need to sell myself on the streets of bad teeth. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I will do anything to survive in this harsh world. As me and the gang move towards our potential gold rush or our own 9/11, I wondered, maybe I have brought a bit less manpower than I should have, since we are dealing with a group of organized guerrilla terrorists. But nah, fuck it, I thought. This is called foreshadowing. As we breached the main gate, I noticed that everyone was sleeping, so there were no guards. Seems a bit too convenient. Without any thought or plan at all, I sent my glorified BDSM participants into the tower. I then promptly ran out as I am a pussy, but I thought the least I could do was run over to their own turret and use it against them so I could get some lucky shots. I was wrong, as I was then cut down like a Jewish guy in a German bar. From this point on, I was in a coma, so I had no idea what was going on inside that tower. All I knew was that there were people fighting and dying. Hopefully, we will end up doing the winning. This thought only got stronger as I saw the goons and the boss himself run out of the tower just like I did. Maybe they were fleeing, but no. I noticed that the fighting had stopped, and apparently they did not flee. They only went out for a leisurely stroll, as we had lost. I myself would say that I'm not a so I was going to cut my losses. The plan was to steal some shit from my dead guards and run. This did not go well. Currently I am in a cage next to my supposedly OP guards, but you know what they say? As sadness appears, opportunity rises, as I noticed that there was a bunch of valuable shit just floating around. Now, what on earth will we do to get out of this pickle? Seeing as we aren't fast enough to escape, not strong enough to beat my captives, and certainly not charismatic enough to charm my way out of this predicament. Well, I will do something drastic, something unheard of in all my years as an online jester. I will make a plan. What is this plan I speak of, you ask? Well, I'm basically going to over time level up my lock picking by picking mine and my comrades' locks until I'm so skilled that I can utilize this ability to free me and all the captives at the same time. And in the confusion that this creates, I will run like all hell out of the tower. Sadly, because of my abhorrent weak muscles, I won't be able to carry a lot with me. So I will have to scurry like a rat, picking up all the scraps I can carry whilst running away. With the plan under my belt, nothing can go wrong. So let's start picking some locks. Now, I might have forgotten to pick up anything of value. Anything at all, really. Yep, nothing much. Except for this black guy. I mean, it is 2025, so I don't know how I feel about just kinda owning a black guy, but I won't make him my slave because of racism or whatever. I actually don't really know how I got him, but I guess the more the merrier. Okay, so the bounty hunting business is not our cup of tea. What else could we do to get some hard-earned cash? No, I did that. Huh. I always do that. Maybe I could... no, I've already done that. Yes, there it is. Archaeology. Or in my terms, grave robbing. In Kenshi, there's a lot of lore, which I personally don't care for, but the creator has left in ruins all over the map to flesh out the lore and history of the game. And in these ruins are things worth money. So let's go grave robbing. First, we're going to be visiting the swamp. In the swamp, there's a lot of dangerous shit. Blood spiders, evil guys, and other things. But there are 2 juicy ruins close to the swamp. Are there other more safe places with ruins? Yes. Are they better? Sure. But do I remember their location? No, I don't. Before me and Kat head out to do a bunch of dying, I thought we might actually prepare. So I went over to the hub to buy some top class gear. Yeah, it might not be much, but... Okay, for real now, let's actually go do some shit. I decided to hit the most outer ruin first, since the closer one is occupied. The riches I gained from this ruin were the following: nerdy books, some robot shit, and a large dildo. It might not seem like a lot, but we're gonna get pretty fucking rich. And yes, I did steal all this new cool shit from some dead people. And yes, we are also starving, so we should really hurry to a town. Now that we have bank and are slightly above the poverty line, I think it is only fair that we gear the fuck up and bolster our ranks. So, after a short healing period, we headed off to the capital of the swamp. And here, we recruited some new and interesting members to the squad. Brian from Family Guy. Speciality, nothing. Mold. Speciality, hitting. Green. Speciality, pew pew, fart. And lastly, Ribbit. Speciality, ugly fucking robot. With these new and trained killers at my back, we can finally start building our capital, Rome. After I buy some much needed supplies like gear, food, boring books, and building supplies. Of course, you can't forget the slaves as well. So, let's start building, fighting, and reading. I know it ain't much, but okay, it fucking sucks. It looks like total shit. Sorry that I'm not some master builder that can jizz on a plate and make a metropolis. Look outside, we live in fucking hell. So oopsie if this shithole isn't up to your standards. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, but by God I built this in a day. Okay, I may have gotten a little heated there, but do not fear, as our Rome has all we really need. Sustainable energy, food, materials, the whole. Innovation centers, walls, defenses, slaves, a training ground, and even a bed, or I guess a sleeping bag, but same. If you really thought that I was gonna build something incredible and not a total eyesore, well, you're in the wrong place. With our now beautiful hierarchy, wonderful capital, and impressive cheekbones, what will we do next? I mean, the Romans did a lot of war and exploring, so maybe I should go on a crusade to the other side of the world and slaughter people I've never even met. Yes, that sounds like a wonderful plan. Off we went, and I just started sprinting until I saw someone that looked different. And there they were, the robots. Old fishing robots. The worst type of robots. The battle, as it usually goes, did not end up in our favor. But you might ask, huh? Where's Cat? I don't see him. And that's because this isn't a tale about the Roman Empire and Kenshi. Of course it isn't, because I would have made something 10 times better if it was. No, this is the story of how a black man escaped slavery. Cat just started running. Is this a happy ending? Well, that's for you to decide. Because Cat does live on the second floor of a whorehouse, and he is very sickly and ill because of the various sexual diseases he has contracted. I mean, there's just a lot of them. He's probably gonna die soon. You see, now you have to like and subscribe because this story is about the black guy, and if you don't, you're pretty racist. Yeah, okay, so this video, it wasn't quite how I imagined it. I wanted to like build an actual empire, not just a fucking shithole. But beggars can't be choosers. And also, I'm pretty bad at this game, so I don't know what you guys were expecting. I've also opened a second channel where I'll probably just post shit, maybe some farts, but except for that, nothing much really. Like, sub, do all of that, and you're free to go now.